Imagine walking through a quiet neighborhood in Boston on a winter afternoon in 1919. People are going about their day. Children are playing nearby, and nothing seems out of the ordinary. Then, without any warning, a deep, thunderous sound fills the air. A massive structure explodes, and a giant wave comes rushing down the street. But this isn't water. It's not mud. It's molasses stick, dark, sticky molasses moving faster than a person can run. This may sound unbelievable, but it really happened, and it became one of the strangest disasters in American history. In the early 1900s, molasses was extremely important in the United States. It wasn't just used for food. Molasses was a key ingredient in making industrial alcohol, and industrial alcohol was used to produce explosives, especially during World War I. Because of this, companies stored massive amounts of molasses near ports so it could be shipped quickly. One of those companies was called United States Industrial Alcohol. In 1915, they built an enormous molasses storage tank in Boston's North End. The tank was about 50 feet tall and could hold over 2 million gallons of molasses. The problem was that the tank was built quickly and cheaply. It wasn't properly tested, and it wasn't inspected by trained engineers. Almost immediately, people living nearby noticed something was wrong. The tank leaked constantly. Molasses would ooze down its sides and pool on the ground. The metal made loud creaking and groaning noises, especially when temperatures changed. Kids from the neighborhood even collected the leaking molasses in buckets to take home. Instead of fixing the tank or checking if it was safe, the company simply painted it brown so the leaks would be harder to see. On January 15, 1919, Boston experienced an unusual warm spell in the middle of winter. The temperature rose quickly, and inside the tank, the molasses began to expand. At the same time, a new shipment of warm molasses had recently been added, increasing pressure inside the already weak structure. At around 12:40 in the afternoon, the tank could no longer hold it. With a loud explosion, the metal walls burst apart. A massive wave of molasses, estimated to be up to 15 feet high, surged through the streets at speeds reaching 35 miles per hour. Buildings were smashed off their foundations. Steel beams bent as if they were made of paper. A nearby fire station was partially crushed. Horses pulling wagons were swept away, and people were knocked down and trapped almost instantly. Because molasses is so thick, it was incredibly hard to escape. The more people struggled, the more stuck they became. The disaster killed 21 people and injured more than 150 others. Victims included dock workers, firefighters, residents of the neighborhood, and even children who had been playing nearby. Rescue efforts were extremely difficult. As the temperature dropped later that day, the molasses became thicker and harder. Rescuers trying to help often got stuck themselves. Firefighters, police officers, and even soldiers worked together, using boards and salt water to free trapped victims. Some people weren't found for days. After the flood, the neighborhood was covered in molasses. Streets, buildings, clothing, and even the harbor were sticky and brown. Cleanup took weeks, and some areas took months to fully repair. People said that on hot days, the smell of molasses lingered in the area for decades. Long after the disaster, locals joked that Boston still smelled sweet in the summer. Families of the victims demanded justice, and a massive lawsuit followed. The company tried to avoid blame by claiming the explosion was caused by anarchists or enemy sabotage, which was a common fear at the time. But after 6 years of investigations and hearings, the truth was clear. Engineers proved that the tank was poorly designed, made with steel that was too thin and never properly tested. The company was found responsible for the disaster and was forced to pay millions of dollars in damages. This case became one of the first major class action lawsuits in American history and had a lasting impact on the country. Because of the Great Molasses Flood, cities across the United States began requiring proper engineering inspections, safety testing, and stricter building regulations. It helped shape modern construction laws and showed that companies could be held accountable for putting public safety at risk. Today, the Great Molasses Flood is remembered as one of the most bizarre events in American history. It sounds almost unbelievable, yet it changed laws, saved future lives, and proved that even something as harmless seeming as syrup can become deadly when safety is ignored. History isn't always about battles or precedents. Sometimes it's about strange accidents that remind us why rules and responsibility matter. And sometimes history is thick.